are good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one, welcome all. This is your Spark session. We have 4 amazing speakers with 8 minutes each to give you presentations on a topic of their choosing. So we have Aaron, we have Doug, we have Hector, we have Dr. Abhilasha. They're going to be providing you with a whole heap of value. If you do have questions, then in the chat, please put the name of the speaker and your question, and then at the end we will get those questions answered. So from all over the world, we've got our speakers. We're going to be kicking off with Aaron. Please bear in mind that he's dealing with a storm at the moment, so a lot of love for going through the storm. It's kind of like Twister, but for presentations. So ladies and gents, your Spark session begins, and your first speaker, Aaron.
So what do we need to know? What are we going to talk about today? Number one, you know and I know some of the things while we're fatigued. Students are fatigued, but so are the adults. And we'll get briefly into some of that discussion. We'll also understand how adults learn, because the way instructional design should be formatted to the needs of the individual while matching the competencies and the skills that need to be conquered. We're also going to talk about the key elements. What designers are covering. What are the things that they're not covering? And more importantly, what are those little tricks? Even an elementary school student, I enjoyed days like this because it resembled nostalgia. That meant that I could just sit back, relax, and in my younger years, chill. But nowadays, when you think about how virtual learning is taking place, we're mirroring this and passively learn. That has to change. And that's why there's such a disengagement between the instructor and the teacher. But we also have to think about this as well. When we look at our attention, our shrinking attention span, from 2003 to 2013, it shrinked from about 13 minutes, 11 minutes, all the way down to 5 minutes. So I'm going to give you a quick moment to reflect on that. Think about what happened between 2003 and 2013. All right, so if you were tech savvy, you would have recognized that's when the Apples first came on board. That's when the Nokias. That's when the cell phone and the world became incredibly smaller from a cell phone flip. But as that came on board, we also have to think about how the data changed, how we started looking at screens. And the online attention span has also changed. Depending on the age group that you're in, this is the only attention span that people see. Gen Z has about 7 seconds. Believe it or not, a goldfish has a larger attention span than a Gen Z, 9 seconds. And that's why we have to make sure that the videos and the information don't learn. Recognize that we all know there's things that we want to learn ourselves. Yes, our bosses are going to give us things that we have to learn, but at least give us some opportunity and input to have some of that discussion. We should also remain goal-oriented and also fuse the ideas with the knowledge of the instructor or the subject matter expert. But the way that you integrate it and assimilate it is that you have to incorporate self-designed products and group experiences. So those of you who are familiar with Malcolm Knowles, they will tell you that these are 4 of the 6 key principles of adult learning. Ironically, when it comes to student learning, there's a lot of similar discrepancies as well. But when we capitalize and we really think about the characteristics of successful learners, we have to be methodological. We have to understand that we must be reflective in our work, the products that we deliver. We also have to be curious. Curious creates flexibility, and flexibility involves creativity and innovation. When all of these are put together, some incredible results happen. And that's why I'm here to tell you that in order for us to dispel the virtual learning dilemma, to truly make a difference and to make a lasting impact on people, you have to understand that there is a time for update. We all have updates. When you think about your phone, it seems like every other day mine's going for an update, so it takes me anywhere from 1 to 3, 5 minutes. Yours is probably doing the same thing. Chrome's doing an update. And instructional design and learning should also be updating continuously. Number one, we all talk about making sure people are engaged. Well, I'm gonna give you an example to counter that. While you're listening to this presentation right now, you could very easily be on Snapchat. You could very easily be on Candy Crush trying to reach that next level. You're highly engaged because you're on Candy Crush, but are you productive? If you're highly engaged and productive, then you're listening, you're taking notes, and you're reflecting on the things that need to be changed in your paradigm. Shift from teacher to user. The best instruction happens when we take ownership of our learning. We also have to make sure that when we assess the people, that they are individually assessed based upon their learning styles, based upon the way that they learn best. It can easily be a project, it could be rubric based, it could be vocal, it could be a combination of things. But we can't can the assessment, we can't can the delivery, we have to make it individualistic. That means that you have to differentiate the information. Remember that slide a few moments ago where we talked about the attention span of a goldfish? If you don't differentiate your instructions, you're going to have problems. People are going to cut it off and move on. And more importantly, you have to make sure that the user wants to be there. In the education world, there's a tale that says, kids don't care about what you know until they know that you care. And I'm sorry, leadership is the same thing. Your employees will never care about what you know or what we have to do until they know that you care. And that's why I'm here to tell you, when you incorporate these 5 elements, I promise you, you will see some radical reformation and design that's truly going to make you stand up above everybody else. I thank you for the opportunity to present here. I hope that you'll follow me. I want to learn from you just as much as I hope you would want to learn from me. Please reach out because we're all in this together. I appreciate your time. My name is Aaron Smith, and I hope you have an incredible afternoon.
Wow, great points, Aaron. Thank you ever so much. And thank you so much for just being so persistent when technology goes wrong. So incredible points there, and so many emojis coming up right now with a lot of love. And also, thanks from the chat going, kudos, Aaron. So thank you ever so much. Great Spark session.
You.
So next on our Spark sessions, we have Doug. Doug, if you will please bring up your presentation, that would be wonderful.
There we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Zawisza, and I'm here to talk to you about High Five Friday. Yes, it's Saturday. Yesterday was Friday, but still, we got high fives that we can share all the time, right? So High Five Friday, for me, brings to mind notions of what you're seeing on screen right now, celebrating at a sporting event. I'm a big Ohio State Buckeyes fan, had the pleasure to go see them whoop up on the Michigan Wolverines a few years back, and was high-fiving people all the way around me who I had never seen before. That's part of the energy, part of the excitement of being at a sporting event, is getting that connection with the fans that you're there with, sharing that love for the team that's on the field, celebrating the events that are occurring in front of you. And with High Five Friday, what I'm trying to do, or what I've been working on for myself, is to bring less of this to work and a little bit more of this. So what I'm looking at is taking that connection and bringing it to my colleagues. I work at a consulting firm, and it could be dry if it wants to be, so it's up to the individuals to reach out and to change that up. How did this start for me? Well, to be quite honest with you, I was in a job that was a whole lot of this. We were siloed. The learning team was assigned upwards to different parts of the business, and we weren't necessarily a learning team. We were learning individuals that would say hi and bye at the beginning and end of the day. So being who I am, and if you can see the pictures behind me that I've painted onto the wall, I'm a huge comic book fan. One Friday, I was swinging by the local comic shop on the way home to get a little distraction, a little escape. And the cashier behind the register was giving High Five Friday. He was greeting everybody or leaving everybody with a High Five Friday after ringing them up. And I realized as I reached out and got that high five from Mike, that this wasn't just Mike being Mike. This was Mike making a connection. Mike could just ring the comics, get you out of his store, get on to the next person so that he could go back to whatever it was he was doing. You know, as Aaron just mentioned, he might have been playing some Candy Crush. He might have been on something else. He might have just been reading a comic. But this was Mike's chance to connect. This was Mike's chance to get to know you and to get to share a little bit with you. And that little bit was energy. So I took that into the workplace, and it failed miserably in this vertical kind of boring workplace. But in 2018, I wound up in the position that I'm at now, which is as the Learning Solutions Lead for Alex Partners. I was a new face in a new place. Unfortunately, I was also in a badge suite and in a shared office. So that meant I had very limited environment as far as collaborators and coworkers present with me. So what I did was I made it a point to get up from my desk on Friday, that first Friday, 4 days after I had started, and to go meet everybody else on the OD Center of Excellence. How did I do that? High Five Friday. I just walk up, extend out my hand and say, Happy High Five Friday. At first I got a quizzical look, then it clicked for people, and you'd soon hear everybody else giving each other a high five. So what this did for me was it gave me the impetus to go connect. And then I realized that it wasn't just that impetus to connect. I was giving some energy to somebody else. I was leaving behind not really a legacy, but certainly some inspiration. I'm not a spotlight guy. I don't like being out there or promoting myself. I don't do it very well. As any of you who know me on LinkedIn know, I just promoted this session today. So it takes me a little while to warm up and to get out there and to get in front of people and to share. But the High Five Friday soon reached from beyond the OD team into the rest of the people on the floor. And then I would take it to events. If I had business in the New York office, I'd walk around the floor that I was working out of and give folks there a high five. We have a director leadership program that's a week-long residential program for our directors. And it ends Friday, but we start Friday off with a High Five Friday. We purposefully set up the tables in a U-shape for conversation, but that makes this sweetest high five setup because you can just start one place, run around, run through, and get everybody. The last High Five Friday we had was in that nature was February of 2020. We all know what happened next, right? So as I'm running through the High Five Friday, the facilitator's running behind me with sanitizer for everybody, including me. So we all made sure we stayed as safe as could be, went on our way and got back to work, to one last week of work in the office as far as we knew. March 13th, we all know what happened. COVID happened. So we went from real high fives to virtual high fives. And I felt the need to still connect with people. I felt the need to check in on the OD team that I could look over the wall and say, hey, John, how's it going? Hello, Catherine, how's today? You know, to be able to keep those connections, to be able to share my energy and hopefully give them a little boost too. Because we've all been there. We've all needed that boost. We've all needed that high five, whether it's virtual or not. So I started sending an email, High Five Friday, and I'd just send this picture at the bottom of it. Then I realized, you know what? I've got a scanner. So I'll scan my hand. So each week I scan one hand or the other, and I put a little comic book sound effect splash there, and I put a little note in it. Be strong, be kind, be yourself. You're awesome. And I send those messages around Memorial Day of 2020, after having a conversation with a Navy veteran. The two of us were talking about how the purpose of Memorial Day is a little bit muddled. Folks don't necessarily understand it. They think it's to celebrate all armed services. And while we should every day, Memorial Day is specifically about those who gave all. So I added a little note to that High Five Friday that was now going to about 100 people. Said, Memorial Day is about this. Please remember the people who gave all. And then I found myself getting into a pattern of adding a little note every single Friday into my high fives. And not only did I add a little note, I added more people. If we had a meeting together, I added you to the list. If I met you in a virtual session that I was leading, I added you to the list. If we had a grand email exchange, you're on the list. I reached back to the Director Leadership Program, and the 8 sessions that I had there, added them to the list. Just folks that I wanted to give a little bit back to, give a little more energy to. High Five Friday, sent it out yesterday, is now 900 people. We're a firm of 2,300. Someday it'll be all of them, but I'm working on it. And the purpose is to share that energy. According to the first law of conservation, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It says nothing about sharing it. Not only can it be shared, but it should be shared. Yesterday's message included a little bit about Ben Folds, Carl Nassib, fika, which is a great little word that I just learned about this week, taking your dog to work, and failure. And I heard back from more people yesterday than I've heard from any other day. So that all said, I just want to encourage you all to make that connection, to realize that a simple high five with a little bit of a message behind it can go ahead and take things forward, give someone else a boost of energy, and keep that energy coming back to you. That all said, thank you for your time, folks. High five.
Amazing. Doug, can we high five?
Absolutely.
I'm coming at you. There you go. There you go. Wonderful. Amazing stuff. And congratulations on the success of that. That's an incredible initiative that you got going on. Wonderful. If you could please stop sharing your screen, and then Dr. Abhilasha, yours will be available next.
And Dr. Abhilasha, high five to you.
Okay, and that's showing. Your audio is not coming through. Your presentation is showing, but no, nothing on that. Nothing coming through on the audio. Do you want to try it? There should be I think there's a cog at the bottom of the screen. I can't hear you. I'm lip reading. If in doubt, refresh. That's always a winner when it comes to things. So have her back with us momentarily.
Yeah, hi.
There we go.
Okay, thank you so much. Perfect. Let me share my
Go.
screen now. Yeah.
If in doubt, turn it off and on again. And there you go. You're ready to.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Perfect.
There you go. Right,
Yeah.
it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, John. Sorry for this inconvenience. So, greeting everyone. And this is the topic how it is important to make strong connection for professional growth. So, before starting the presentation, I would like to thank my mentor Brenda for her guidance and support throughout from 1st June to 25th June. Uh, so, So I just want to share a very good story with you all, which motivated me to create my connection and to be presenting this topic with all of you. Uh, a couple of years back, I was working in organization, and I've seen a lot of people working with a very lot of dedication, hard work. I've seen one person, Mr. Shekhar. He was only working, and only working. He was not going out from the office. After office hours, also, he was not involved in any party. He was not attending any conferences. His friend circle is very small, very limited. So I thought that he's very hardworking. So he's going to be a very long way. He's going to reach out to a lot of heights in his career. But a few years back, like let's say 1 or 2 years back, when I met him, he was at the same position. Why? Because he don't know that what is the career growth, what kind of options he can explore, what other opportunities are available in his field. This happens because of the lack of the networking, because he's not open, because he's not talking to the people. So that's why the problem is coming, and that's why this particular story motivated me to make a strong connections and take this topic in the spark session. So networking as high five is the one point which keeps us live. Networking also give a joy, and also keeps us motivated to work with people, to talk with people, to make a strong network, to learn and grow the things together. So the outlines are, first I would like to discuss about networking, importance of networking, how networking is going to help us in building our professional growth, and then how we can be an effective networker. If you are a shy person, what kind of strategy you can plan. So few experiences which I have practiced, I'm going to share with you all. And just want to add one more thing is that because of my network, because of my strong network, I am connected here, I am giving this spark session here today. So very excited. So what is networking? If I'll ask you, and if I request you to write down your views on networking in the chat, this will be very great, because most of the time whenever I'm talking to the people, I'm getting these two answers. Coffee meetings is all about networking, formal meetings is all about networking, cocktail parties are all about networking, the dinner after the conferences, networking dinners, networking meets are all about networking. But beyond that, the networking is all about mutually sharing the experiences. Also, networking is all about how you are going to give benefit to the people, those who are connected with you. So don't be selfish that you are making your networks to only getting something or to take something. Networking is all about giving also the similar opportunities the way you are getting the opportunities from the other people. So networking is all about the creating a strong connection with people, not only the people in the workplace, but the people, those who are in your families, those who are in your relatives group, also those who are meeting in the areas. Like in this conference, we have a networking launch. We can go, we can talk. I'm working in ink content. Maybe I can meet a lot of people, those who are also working in a similar area. We can have a similar interest, and we can have a strong bond which can help us in making a personal growth. So networking is all about making a strong connection with the people, not only with the motto to gain something, but also with the with the aim to give back again to them, to give back to society, and to make a stronger connection, stronger bond with the people. So why networking is important to your success? As I shared with you that I have also seen myself, I have experienced this, that because of the network, because of the strong connection of the people, you feel relaxed, you feel strong, because in any case when you face any problem, any case when you need any support, the people those who are in your network, they will be going to help you, they will be going to support you. So how they can support, what all areas where they can support. So for that I've just divided this into three different aspects. The first and important is career development. In career development, what we can understand, let's say I'm working in a cybersecurity area. So my main interest is to create contents in cybersecurity, help society, help students, help academicians, help professionals to rescale. Now, what all things I need to make my career strong? What kind of certifications I need? So I'm always talking to my network. I'm always talking to the people to whom I'm connected, that what other things I can learn, what other things I can get from the society or the certifications which can help. So career development is a very important area where the networking can help you. Definitely the workplace is the point where you need to have a very good network, because this help you in cracking the bigger deals. When you have a strong network in your workplace, it's very easy to make strong teams, those who can work on very complex ideas and very big projects. And also new job search, definitely you all will be agree that in this COVID pandemic, I hope you all are safe and well. So in this COVID pandemic area, when everybody was worried, everybody was going through the difficult situation, this is because of the network, this is because of the people we connected. We got the opportunities because they know us better, they know us that what we know. So they helping us in connecting the dots, so that when we want to have a new job opportunities, we can get that platform with the support of our network. So these are the three important areas because of which networking is very very important. So how to become an effective networker? If I'll say that you have to be very talkative, you have to be very open. So this is not going to be a true one, because not only the people those who are very talkative or open, they can only make a strong connection, but the people those who are shy, those who don't want to talk a lot in the public, they can also make the networks. How they can make a network? They have to think outside of the network. Like, let's say, not only start with the conferences, not only start with the cocktail parties. First start to make a strong connection with your family members, with your friends. Start trying experimenting. Let's say you are shy, you don't want to talk with a lot of people. Why not to start with one-on-one meetings? Once you will start doing one-on-one meetings, you will get confidence, you will be motivated, and then later on you will get a boost, and maybe you can have a network of 2, 3, 4, 5 people to whom you can talk at the same time. So think out of the box, make a game plan that how I'm going to strategize this. See, networking is not that you go and meet someone, hey, I want to be part of your network, please be as a professional network. So that will not work. You have to make a connection, connection, long term relationship. You have to have a game plan how you are going to follow up that person. Not only when you need that person you are going to greet that person, but you have to greet each and every time. Let's say for example some festival is coming, let's say for example friendship day is coming, let's say for example Christmas Eve is there. Greet those people. They will feel very happy that someone is there who is remembering me, someone is there who is sending message to me. If you find something very good, as I've given my example that I am getting this opportunity to talk to you people on this great platform, awesome conference, because my network shared this opportunity, call for speakers. So same way you have to give these opportunities to the people those who are in your network. So follow up, and also pay it
Oh,
forward. Don't
sorry,
always expect, pay
Dr.
it forward.
Abhilasha, I do
So
apologize. Your 8 minutes is up.
yeah, sure. So I've just finished it also. So a little bit excited. So thank you so much. And namaste. I'm from India. Thank you so much for hearing me out. And please make a strong connection. Try to talk to people one on one. Try to make a strong connection and take the benefit of the connection. Thank you so much. Please be safe. Thank you, John.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And if you can stop sharing screen, then that will be fantastic. And then our final Spark speaker, Hector.
All right, what's going on, team? Let me get my screen shared. Can you guys see my PowerPoint presentation?
So we're on your view, so your speaker view.
Oh, okay. Well, let me do this again. Share screen, window. All right. There we go. I'm a millennial, but I have no idea how to use technology. Bear with me, team. All right.
There we go. You're all set, and it's all yours.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, John. The whole conference, GLDC, all the speakers, you have been absolutely fantastic. And I'm really excited to jump into this topic. Optimize your e-learning by focusing on your learner, not technology. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I cannot tell you how passionate I am about the learner. At the end of the day, whether if you're creating an internal university for onboarding, whether if you're creating courses, whatever the case may be, it needs to be about your learner. The way that I like to define e-learning, or we like to define e-learning in my organization, is e-learning is really made up of content, technology, distribution. Now, it's not in that exact order. Those are just the pillars of e-learning. But one thing that we have seen when we've worked with many organizations, and just in general when we go to conferences, is the spotlight's not on the learner. Whether if it is building out content, whether if it is finding the right technology, whether if it's distribution, wherever the challenges are, we always peel the layers of the onion and understand that the problem always starts with not really, the organization not really knowing who the learner really is. Many companies believe they know who their learner is. They really do think that they got a good grasp of it, but they've just scratched the surface. You know, really digging deep and understanding who their learner is something that they haven't done. But don't take it from me. Take it from some real life stories. In 2019, pre-COVID, I was at the Learning Solutions Conference, awesome conference in Orlando, Florida. And I was in this breakout session, and it was all about how do you engage your employees? How do you engage your learners? And I remember a couple of stories that I'll share. One was, and by the way, this conference, we're talking about Disney was there, and PwC, and HSBC, and Qatar Airlines, some large organizations, not just nationally in the United States, but worldwide organizations. And I'll never forget that there was a head of education there really showcasing and sharing that they were struggling to engage their learners. And what she said that they were doing is they were taking GoPro cameras, putting them in the refrigerator. So when the employees went to go get lunch and they opened up the refrigerator, they would capture their reaction of people looking at the GoPro camera and being shocked that there was a camera in there. They were so desperate to figure out how do we engage employees. But it wasn't that story that really got me. It was the story of, there was this incredible woman leader there, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciated her because she was vulnerable. And vulnerability creates relatability. You cannot fix challenges if you don't really know what is going on. And I was just so appreciative of how open she was of what was going on. She was based out of a prestigious hospital out of Cleveland, and she was saying, we tried everything. We're doing everything. We're doing everything that we can to engage our employees, but nothing is working. We've invested so much time, money, and resources, and nothing is working. So after the session, I went up to her and I asked her, and again, I promise I was not being rude or a smart aleck or anything like that. I truly wanted to help. And I asked her, I'm like, you know, I know that you've tried everything. I'm just curious. Have you asked your employees? Have you asked your learners? Have you asked them what they want to learn? Have you asked them how they want to grow, not just professionally, but the courses and the learning that they have internally? How can they take that back home and impact their life personally? Have you really made it about your learner? And she looked at me like I discovered gold. She looked at me exactly like this. This was the face that I saw. And she said, I never thought of that. I never thought of really making it about the learner. Thank you. So remember, guys, it is about the learner. Listen to the learners, because when you do, it increases engagement, which if you're selling a course could increase revenue. If you're trying to increase productivity or onboarding or decrease attrition, whatever the case may be, when you focus on the learner, you can achieve those metrics. One of my favorite stories to share was this organization we've had the opportunity to be great partners with. They're in health education, online certifications and whatnot. And they came up to us because they said, hey, we listen to our learners. However, our engagement's at 86%. Now that's pretty high, right? What they wanted to do was take that engagement to the next level. So when a learner finished a course, they would sign up for that next course because they were highly engaged and they loved what they saw. So they got surveys. They did everything that they possibly could to learn about the learner. And because they learned about the learner, and we made those next courses relative to the feedback of what the learner wanted and how they wanted to engage, that 86% became 98%, which transformed into over $40,000 of additional revenue when that course was actively marketed. It's incredible what happens. I want you to think about that for a second. How can that impact your business? You know, maybe you're not selling courses, but maybe internal, right? We're not just talking about selling courses, onboarding and training, making employees feel like they're supported, right? Increasing productivity, efficiency. I know right now the labor market is very hard, so embracing employees and supporting them all the way through. How can we impact them professionally and personally? So the big mistake, don't make this mistake. I'm not saying that technology is not important. It's very important, but everybody puts their focus on technology. We need to find the best learning management system. We need to find the best tech specs. Well, it's not about tech specs, it's about learner specs, right? It makes sense why many of us get focused on technologies, because that's who owns the search engine optimization space. The SEO space is owned by these incredibly large learning management systems. And don't get me wrong, you need technology, but don't take technology and force it down the throats of your learners. Understand what your learners need and find technology that meets those needs. One quick story. We had the opportunity to have some conversations with $1 billion+ revenue a year organization, and they focused on technology. And they didn't just spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. They went into the low millions of dollars figuring out the technology and deploying it, only to find themselves understanding that that's not what their learners want. And now they are suffering from the scenario of, do we switch learning management systems or do we not? And what we've understood is they've looked at us and they said, nope, we've spent so much money and so much time on this, they're just gonna have to deal with it. They're doing the have to deal with it model, which I do not recommend at all. So don't focus on technology, focus on your learners and find technology that meets your learners' need. Keep that spotlight focus. I want you to think of a stage like a Broadway musical, right? There's so many things going on that stage, and that spotlight, your eyes go to where that spotlight is. If the spotlight isn't on the actors, then it's on some random part of the stage, but the action should be over here, you get confused. So put that focus, put that spotlight on where it should be, which it should be always on your learners. So I'm gonna give one actionable takeaway is the way that I like to define learners, the way that we like to define learners is perfect learner profiles. That's what we call them, PLPs, perfect learner profiles. And the one actionable takeaway that I want you to take home and write down is, okay, what is that first step? How do I start defining who my learners are? So what we like to call it is a learner transformation statement. So before your learners, whether if it's employees or course takers, before they take the course, they are at what we like to call point A. Think of the alphabet, A through Z, right? Alphabet, sorry, A through Z. They're at point A. So point A is where they currently are. And after they take your course, they're gonna be at point Z. So how are you transforming your learners? What is that experience going to be? In other words, think of it in the business world, this is like the value proposition, right? We like to call this the learner transformation statement. How are you transforming your learners? How, based on this course, how are they going to become a new person, or what skills and how are they going to develop? That is going to impact your marketing. That's going to impact your distribution. That's going to impact so many things on how you structure and create your course. And one last thing for time, one last thing is, another actionable takeaway is make sure that your models and your courses are built for agility and flexibility because markets change and people change. COVID-19 happened. All these things changed. So with that being said, make sure that your model is built for pivotability. You can pivot and make changes, right? So with that being said, keep in touch. My name is Hector Simoudis. I'm loud, which means I am Greek because I am Greek, which is why I'm loud. So we have workshops and master classes that we do for free. We have educational content that we provide for free. We're all about education. So there's my email, hector@vplegacies.com. And also find me on LinkedIn, Hector Simoudis. Connect with me because I would love to build a relationship with you. Thank you all again. You're all amazing.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hector. Thank you to all of our amazing Spark speakers. Thank you for keeping within the time limits. It is tricky. 8 minutes is a short, sharp piece of time, but they've done a fantastic job. So a whole heap of emoji love coming through the screen, which is always nice, and some great points made in the chat. That's actually brought us to the end of our time on these Spark sessions. Once again, massive thank you to all of our speakers, some incredible insights in just such a small space of time. As with everybody within this conference, make sure that you're connecting with our speakers if you want to find out more from them. But ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our Spark sessions. The next sessions are going to be opening up soon, and then we're going to be wrapping up the day. So that brings us to the end of this Spark session, ladies and gents.